Hello, my name is Mohammed Ahmed, and this is my first project creative for visual scripting. My tutorial followed making pixel art effects in ShaderGraph. With this video, you can see right here on how to do it. So I went into a lot of detail for the in this particular ShaderGraph in the research portion, so I'll keep it brief. Um, this is essentially what the shader does. You get it pixelizes the particles basically. It does that over here. You can see the shader graph. There's a bit variable and it multiplies it by these UV vertices and then it breaks it down. It divides it back up so you get so you can scale it and then you get this cool pixel effect. And this vertex color up here is how you shoot. There you go. This vertex color up here is how you can apply your own colors to it, and you can get rid of this black border by splitting it and then putting colors in the alpha. But this is essentially what you get. It's a really nice effect. One of the first creative additions I made was to add some kind of bloom to this, some post-processing, which is where this global volume variable comes from. You can add overrides here, like bloom in my case. And with that, you can, add some pop and I guess flavor to your effects. So this is the one with, as you can see down here, if I go to, yeah, this is intensity of 1. This particle system has a higher intensity of bloom, which is at 3. So this looks a lot nicer than this one, and you can even go higher than this too. So yeah, that looks like real fire. This is a cool one. But these are the levels of bloom I added for the creative portion, and of course, bloom isn't the only thing. Yeah, post processing isn't necessarily the only thing you can do with this. Like for example, you can change the color of it. I get this cool like pink. I guess like it's just super cool. Like you can make this with any color, and it's not only the color you can change either. You can also change the particular texture you use with this. So I made smoke too. So if I change the color to gray and I added this smoke texture to it, and you get this cool smoke effect. Of course, it's all pixelated, and that's not the only thing you can manipulate too. The shorter graph lets you manipulate the bits variable as I showed earlier over here. This is, I believe it's 4 bits. Yeah, this one's 4 bits over here. So yeah, you can manipulate any way you want. This is the first creative addition I had was to introduce some kind of post-processing. So you get brighter fire here. Now you can change the bits. On this one on the bottom left, you change the color, and you can have different effects. So it doesn't have to be fire. You can also make smoke with it. So this is a really cool one. Something else for the creative, because this obviously isn't enough, was to think about how this could be used in a game. So I made a little area where I could, think about and brainstorm how I could put this in a game, and I did have an idea. So here, as you can see, I made a little player here, and the idea behind my creative section for this was to have some kind of sword animation. So when a player can like swing a sword or something, then a pixel path will follow. So here, if I can, yeah. So right here, I have a sword, and it can have a trail on it. As you can see, it has those pixels I mentioned earlier, and I even changed the color of it. So instead of the sword, let's say I did the staff. Boom. Yeah, it looks cool. Okay, nice. So as you can see, hold on, let me full screen this. Yeah, as you can see, there's a that particle effect follows the sword as it swings, and it's all pixelated. So I'm a big fan of games like this where it's like completely pixelated. It's kind of nostalgic. But yeah, I added a trail to that using the pixel effect I made in the tutorial. I can switch weapons too to make a fire one. If you look closely, you can see that the projectile it shoots is also a pixel based thing that uses this shader graph I made. If I shoot at this mushroom, boom, it explodes. So a couple things I learned. One of them was shader graph. I discovered shader graph through the tutorial a few weeks ago, and I kind of expanded on that knowledge when applying it to my creative. I learned how to animate things, particularly sprites. And of course, I learned more about the particle system and how to apply textures to particle systems, is where the shader graph comes from. And I also learned about post processing, about bloom and intensity and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's been a good learning experience.